Okay, day 84. Eric Braverman still missing. This is part two. Today, the True Pundit article came out about the Clinton Foundation, these three folks, and it said that there's likely money laundering activity coming through L.A., through the El Chapo and that kind of offshore accounts and so forth. And I'd like to go through how I kind of outlined this a little bit earlier. So here's the True Pundit article. NYPD and FBI are probing for, this is the LA office, are probing for money laundering, financial ties with Islamic terror groups. Okay. Well, what they do when they do this FinCEN, this watchdog group within the FBI, is looking at these suspicious activity reports. So whenever they see, like I said before in previous meetings, when you ever see this kind of elephant going through the python, it's very obvious. Now, they have several ways they call sharding to try to make 10 little elephants, but it's still to going through 10 different pythons. But there's software that can easily pick that up and link everybody. So if you put, for instance, if you have Slim here, Carlos Slim, have 10 different offshore accounts, and he puts it through 10 different accounts. By tying those accounts back to him, you can easily see the whole elephant going through to the Clinton Foundation. So actually, that's what this is. This is the old Mark Rich funnel. You're going to find Lionsgate, which is owned by Frank Giustra, is the funnel from Frank and Carlos Slim straight through to the Clinton Foundation. This is the movie funnel. So as I mentioned before, LA is going to be, the money's going to be coming from El Chapo. You'll see a link below where it says El Chapo gave $15 million to the Clinton Foundation. It's the Times of Mexico that reports that story. That's like our New York Times, which he owns, or he's the majority shareholder of. I believe Carlos Slim even owns the Times of Mexico. He can question the veracity of the report. But anyway, that's the funnel. That's your funnel. And I don't know if you remember, Lionsgate did all the ones where the girls had to run for their lives. I can't remember the games, the Hunger Games, that's it. And if you read Kathy O'Brien's description of when she was, told to just put a pair of tennis shoes on naked and run for her life, and then the guys ran after her and raped her, it's almost the plot of that movie. Anyway, I just wanted to say that this came out. Now, this is kind of what I call a limited hangout, and that is when the FBI is looking bad. They're not moving along in an investigation, so they'll say, well, we don't know, but we're looking. This is this slow foot thing. Instead of turning out the emails and breaking the case wide open to the public, they leak this stuff out to, True Pundit in this case, to try to say, well, we are doing something. And I'll show you the litmus test. First of all, where have we seen this movie before? Here we go again. Mark Rich said, I took cartel money, I bought Gaddafi oil, I put it in HSBC, and I gave tens of millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation. And guess what? He was the owner of 20th Century Fox with Rupert Murdoch. This could be, Carlos Slim could be Mark Rich, and this could be Rupert Murdoch. I mean, it's the same exact funnel that they did before, but only 20th Century Fox was the studio instead of Lionsgate. So Frank Giustra is just a replacement, and these Hillary replacements are always kind of this bad copy of a fax kind of things, because Mark Rich had a lot more pizzazz, in my opinion. But this is the old 20th Century Fox funnel. And different cartels, different people. Maybe he's buying the oil from now, and maybe a different bank now that HSBC's been brought down. But again, here's the litmus test. If you don't recuse yourself from the case, if you keep compartmentalizing the case, like it's still compartmentalized, they let one guy in LA call one guy in New York, and they can say they're cooperating, but the case is still compartmentalized, and you still have emails. So this is the same old slow foot. We've seen the slow foot 7 times. We've seen the slow foot on this one investigation was 10 years before they finally ended it and said, well, we'll just make a $140 million fine. $140 million fine. The Clinton Foundation, when they were running the MENA airport operation for the Iran-Contra, they were making $100 million a month. I don't know what it's up to now, but this is nothing for Mark Rich to pay. $100 million a month is what the MENA operation made. So anyway, that's Larry Nichols that gave that testimony. So where else have we seen Jeff Skoll and Frank Giustra before? Here's Skoll and partners in Lionsgate with Frank Giustra. Haiti. Tembo. Skoll is in partnership with Eric Braverman at Tembo. It's Haiti all over again. So he's going to be he's going to be your guy. We're getting close to Michael Hastings. We're getting close to solving the Michael Hastings puzzle. He's going to be doing the parties in LA and Florida and New York. He's the setup man for all these parties. And it's not going to be Epstein's LA ranch. He's going to take the people from the Sean Penn parties in LA at the Lionsgate parties, and they're going to be flying over to Epstein's New Mexico ranch, or up to Podesta has a place up in Lake Tahoe. Those are going to be your two brownstone operations. And then again in NATO, it's going to be these C3 meetings, which are all over Europe. But he's your guy. The way the system works, the way I do this iteratively, is there's people who are afraid. There are people who are in the FBI or ex-FBI who are afraid to come forward because McCabe crushed the other FBI agent in New York, and he crushed some of the New York NYPD people as well. So they have to give me information through their kids going to the public library or going to a school or whatever. That's how this is working. That's why it's slow. I apologize for being slow, but that's the only way to protect the sources in this story. I guess I give it out as fast as I get it. So and here's your guy. I've had him in the picture for a long time. Tom Nidas is going to be your guy that meets with Jeffrey Katzenberg or meets with, the guy at Disney and meets with Steven Spielberg and all those folks. And you got your cover stories right here with his wife in the D.C. Bureau of CNN. So CNN is just basically a cover story network. I mean, I hate to say that, but it is. They have some good reporting, but when it gets to really something important, it's the cover stories. But here it is. The Clinton-Giustra Enterprise Partnership, like I've said all along, is not just Frank Giustra, it's Carlos Slim. And then it goes over to Braverman. Now, the key question still is, does Braverman know? I mean, here I've had Slim here a long time. Does he know? Who knows? I still don't know the answer to that question. He needs to have a press conference that's about 3 hours long to be asked about every one of these slides. And again, these guys at a party are your key to unlocking case after case after case. Wherever Rahman goes and wherever Asfari goes, and if Sean Penn's at the same party, get the guest list and send it to me. I will figure out which girls went to that party. So get me the guest list if you see Sean Penn with either of these two people in New York or LA or Florida. Okay? Thank you. And in my previous version today, I talked about this this case with DynCorp, and I'll just say that I don't have the RICO. This is a RICO case. It wasn't U.S. State Department versus. It wasn't the U.S. State Department versus DynCorp. It was a individual guy named I believe his name's Wesley Johnson out of Texas that filed a RICO lawsuit, which is a racketeering and corruption lawsuit. So I wanted to make that correction. Okay, that's it for right now. They're hot on the case. This is lots of stuff happening today.